Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. We are absolutely pumped to have you here with us today.
It's great to be here.
It's a beautiful day to learn something new, and honestly, my energy is through the roof because we are tackling a topic today that I think every single person listening has struggled with at some point.
I think you're right. The energy is high. And I'm doing great, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm really ready for this one because, like you said, this is a universal struggle.
It really is. So before we jump into the deep dive, any linguistic adventures lately?
Well, funny you should ask. I actually had this little moment this morning. It was small, but it felt, significant.
Oh, yeah.
I was running around my apartment, just completely frantic, looking for my keys. You know that feeling when you're late and the panic just sets in?
Oh, I know well. The whole wallet, phone, keys, dance.
Exactly. So I'm checking the table, my pockets, the door. And in that moment of, total frustration, I caught myself thinking the phrase, "Where are they?" But the interesting part was, I thought it directly in English. I didn't think it in my native language first and then translate. It just popped into my head.
Where are they?
Where are they? Yeah. And it felt so natural.
That's fascinating because usually when we panic, our brains just go back to factory settings, right? Back to our native language.
That's exactly it. But this time, the English pathway was somehow faster. And that feeling, that lack of friction is exactly what we're going to unpack today.
I love that.
Our deep dive is all about how to get that skill, how to think in English faster.
That concept of friction is perfect because for most learners, that smooth experience you had is the exception, not the rule. Most students feel like there is this giant wall between their brain and their mouth.
The famous wall. It's the most common thing I hear. People say, I know the words, I know the grammar, but when I try to speak, I just freeze.
It's like a computer lagging. You click the icon and you just get that spinning wheel for like 10 seconds.
Yeah. That is a perfect description. They think the thought in their native language and then they hit the wall. They have to stop, translate everything, find the words.
Rearrange the whole sentence.
It's exhausting.
It makes me tired just hearing you describe it. So to help everyone visualize this, we have a really great metaphor from the research.
Yes.
We call that the supermarket metaphor.
I love this one. It really explains what's happening in the brain.
Okay, so picture this. Your brain is a massive supermarket. You're the customer.
Right.
Now, in the old way of doing things, the translating way, it's like you're not allowed to pick up the groceries yourself.
You're stuck at the counter and there's a clerk there. Let's call him the translation clerk.
And let's be honest, this clerk is not the employee of the month.
No, he is definitely not. He is the slow clerk.
Right.
So imagine you want an apple, simple, but you can't just grab it. You have to ask the clerk in your native language, please get me an apple.
So you put in the order.
You put in the order, then the clerk has to, process it. He walks slowly to the back. He has to find the right book, look up apple, dust it off.
Oh my gosh.
He picks up the apple, walks slowly back, and finally he hands you the English word.
And in the real world, the person you're talking to is just staring at you.
Exactly. That awkward silence, that delay. That's the time it takes the clerk to walk back and forth. It's latency.
It's so inefficient. Nobody wants to wait that long for an apple. But the goal, what we're aiming for, is the self-service model.
Self-service. This is where the magic happens.
Yeah. In the self-service model, you walk in, you see the apple, you grab it, you go.
No middleman.
No middleman, no waiting. It's direct and it's fast.
That's the perfect way to put it. It is all about removing that middleman in your head. When you fire the clerk, you get rid of the latency.
And that's when you start to feel fluent.
Exactly.
I think everyone listening is ready to fire that clerk right now. He's fired. Get out of here.
We want direct access.
Okay, so we're going to get into 4 very specific ways to actually fire that clerk.
Yeah.
But before we do, just a small favor. If you're enjoying this deep dive and you want to speed up your own brain, please take a second to like, subscribe, and maybe share with a friend who is also learning.
It really does help the show grow, and it helps us reach more people who are stuck behind that wall.
Okay, so let's get back to it. We have what we want self-service thinking, but I want to talk about the why. Because this isn't just about speed, is it?
No, not at all. It's deeply emotional. I mean, I wasn't always a confident speaker. I've been on the other side of that wall.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I remember when I first moved to London years ago.
What was that like?
It was overwhelming. I remember going to this party with some new friends, and you know how parties are for language learners? It's like the final boss.
The worst. Fast talking, music, slang.
Yeah.
You can't ask someone to repeat themselves every 5 seconds.
You can't. So someone told a joke, and the whole group, they just burst out laughing instantly. I was just sitting there, with a smile frozen on my face, but inside, my brain was just sweating.
Oh, no.
I was still trying to translate the first half of the sentence. By the time I actually understood the punchline, the moment was gone.
That is painful.
The conversation had moved on. And I just felt so lonely. I felt slow. It wasn't that I didn't know the words, it's that I couldn't get to them fast enough to be part of the moment.
That's such a real feeling, being in the room but not really in the room. You're on a time delay.
Exactly. And that feeling of isolation, that's what pushed me. I realized I couldn't connect with people if I had that slow clerk in my head.
I have a similar story, but mine was less social and more professional panic, which might be worse.
Oh, professional panic is terrifying. What happened?
It was years ago, a job interview. Stakes were high. I really wanted this job. And the interviewer asks that classic question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
The classic. Even native speakers hate that question.
Right. And my brain just went into panic mode. I heard the question, I translated it, and then, because I wanted to impress him, I came up with this really smart, complex answer in my native language.
Oh, I see where this is going.
I built this beautiful paragraph about ambition and career goals. And then I tried to translate that whole thing back into English on the fly.
That's the trap.
It was a disaster. I just sat there in silence for like 1 second, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. I must have looked like a frozen computer.
That silence feels like forever in an interview.
It felt like hours. And that was my aha moment. I realized I didn't need more vocabulary. I knew the words. What I needed was a faster connection.
That is such a crucial distinction. It's not about knowing more words. It's about accessing the words you already know faster.
Precisely. So how do we do it? We've got 4 very practical tips to help you rewire your brain.
Let's start with the first one. This is probably the easiest one to start with, but you have to do it right. We call it label your world.
Label your world. Does that just mean looking at things and thinking the word?
Not exactly. We want to make it more active. We want to use something called embodied cognition.
Embodied cognition. Okay, break that down for us.
It just means using your body to help your brain learn. So look around the room you're in right now. Maybe you see a chair.
Okay.
The normal way is to see it and think the word for it in your native language first.
Right.
We want to stop that. We want you to physically point your finger at the object and say the English word.
Just say chair.
Just chair. Point at the table. Table. Point at the window. Window.
So why is the pointing so important?
Because that physical action creates a stronger memory. You're building a direct link between the object, the visual, the movement, and the English word. You're bypassing your native language.
I see. So you're not going native word to English word. You're going object to English word.
Exactly. You're cutting out the middleman.
Okay, so that handles the physical world. What about what's going on inside our heads? That brings us to tip number 2, the inner monologue.
This one is powerful, but it can feel a little strange at first.
The idea here is to be the narrator of your own life. You know in movies how there's a voiceover explaining what the character is doing?
Yes, like he walked down the rainy street.
Exactly. You need to be that narrator for your own, boring daily life. When you're making coffee or walking to the bus, just talk to yourself in your head.
What does that actually sound like? Because people might think they need to have these deep philosophical conversations.
No. Keep it simple. Keep it boring, it sounds like. Now I am making coffee. I am pouring the water. It is hot. It's a sunny day outside.
It sounds almost too simple.
But that's the beauty of it. It's a private practice session. No one can hear you. No mistakes. You're just getting your brain used to flowing in English.
I love that. It removes all the pressure. Inside your head is a safe space.
Exactly. But I know what some listeners are thinking. Okay, I can say coffee, but what if I want to say something complicated?
And that leads us perfectly to tip number 3, small bites.
Small bites, or as I like to call it, caveman mode.
Caveman mode works too.
Unpack this for us. Why do we need to think like a caveman?
Well, we try to translate our complex adult thoughts directly. We have these big ideas in our native language, like, I'm contemplating the possibility of going to the park this afternoon.
That's a mouthful.
Right, and if you try to translate that, you'll hit the wall, you'll summon the slow clerk.
So what do we do instead?
We simplify, we take small bites. So instead of that long sentence, just think, park, now, good.
Park, now, good.
Yeah.
That is pure caveman.
It is. Or hungry, Eat sandwich, start small. It's about building momentum.
So it's better to be simple and fast than complex and silent.
Precisely.
Okay, so we have labeling, inner monologue, and small bites. Now, one more, and this one is tough. Tip number 4, the no dictionary rule.
This is maybe the hardest one to follow, but it's so important.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
You see a word you don't know, and your hand just automatically goes to your phone to open the translation app.
It's an addiction to certainty. We want to know exactly what it means right now.
And we need to break it. The rule is resist that urge.
So if I see a word I don't know, what should I do?
Guess. Use the context. Be a detective. Look at the situation, look at the pictures, and try to figure out what it probably means.
That's how we learn our native languages, right? We didn't have dictionaries as babies. We just figured it out.
Exactly. And if you absolutely must use a dictionary,
What?
here's the key. Use an English dictionary.
So you're looking up the definition in English, not the translation.
Right. So you look up umbrella, and the definition is a device used to protect from rain. This keeps your brain in the English zone.
As soon as you switch to your native language for a translation, you've brought the slow clerk back into the store.
You've broken the flow.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Staying in the English zone is critical.
Okay, so before we wrap up, I want to do a quick word tour. We've used some specific terms today, and I just want to make sure everyone's clear on them.
Let's do it. I'll start with the villain of our story, the middleman.
The middleman.
A middleman is a person or a process that stands between two things. And for us, translation is the middleman slowing you down.
Right. Get rid of the middleman. Next up, we have narrator.
A narrator is just the person who tells a story. We want you to be the narrator of your own day to practice thinking in English.
Then we have the concept of the direct link.
This is the goal. A direct link is a fast connection with no stops. When you point at a chair and say chair, you're building a direct link between the image and the word.
We talked about things feeling natural.
Yes. Natural means it feels easy, not forced. When thinking in English just happens without you trying, that's when it feels natural.
And finally, a really important tool, context.
Context is the situation around a word that helps you understand it. It's how you guess a meaning without a dictionary.
It's about using the clues around you.
Exactly.
Okay, let's bring this all home. We've unpacked the problem, the wall, the slow clerk. We've unpacked the solution, the self-service brain.
So here's the summary. Stop the translation clerk. Fire him. Start naming the objects around you. Talk to yourself like a narrator. And keep it simple.
And remember, you're doing a great job just by listening. Every small step counts. It's not going to be perfect tomorrow, and that is okay.
Absolutely. It's a process. But we want to give you a specific challenge to start right now. We call it the tiny goal.
I love a tiny goal. What is it?
It's very small. For the next 10 minutes, just 10 minutes after this deep dive ends, I want you to name every object you see in English.
Just for 10 minutes.
Just 10 minutes. Look in your phone, say phone. Look at the door, say door. Force that direct link for just a short burst of time.
Anyone can do that. Everyone listening can do 10 minutes. It's like a sprint for your brain.
You have the power to change how your brain works. It just takes these little moments.
Well, that is about all the time we have for today. But before we go, we want to hear from you.
Yes. Let's start the practice now. Look around your room. What is one word you see? Just one. Tell us in the comments.
It's a great way to start your labeling practice right now. Thank you so much for listening, for diving deep with us, and for being part of this community. Keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next deep dive. Bye.
Bye-bye.